I always thought marriage meant honesty. I used to believe that when two people shared a life, they also shared the truth. But as I walked into my mom's house that evening, I felt something strange in the air, like the truth itself was hiding from me. "Mom, we're here," I called out, trying to sound normal. She stepped out of the kitchen but didn't smile. She didn't even blink. She just stared at me like I had walked in covered in dirt. "Hey," I said, moving forward to hug her. She pulled her hand back like my touch burned. I froze. "Mom, what's wrong?" "Nothing," she said sharply. Melissa stepped beside me and placed her hand on my shoulder. "Maybe she's just tired," she whispered, loud enough for Mom to hear. Mom's eyes narrowed at me, not her. I tried to laugh it off. "You okay? You look upset." "Should have told me the truth, Ethan," she said. My heart dropped. "What truth?" Her voice shook. "Don't act innocent." I looked at Melissa, hoping for an answer. She avoided my eyes and gently squeezed my arm like she was comforting me, performing for the room. "Mom," I said slowly, "can we talk alone? Just for a minute?" "No." She picked up a plate, set it down harder than she meant to, and said, "There's nothing to talk about. I understand everything now." I felt heat rising in my face. "Understand what?" Melissa spoke first. "Maybe this isn't the right time." Mom glared at her. "This has everything to do with you, Melissa. Don't pretend it doesn't." "What?" I asked, turning toward her. "What did you tell her?" Melissa shook her head quickly. "I didn't tell her anything bad. Just explained how you've been feeling." I stepped closer. "Feeling about what?" "Ethan, not now," she whispered. Mom slammed a spoon onto the counter. "Don't protect him." He said those things, didn't he? My chest tightened. "What things?" Mom's voice cracked. "That you're tired of me. That you're embarrassed by me. That you only visit because you feel forced." "You should have said it to my face." "I never said that," shouted. The room fell silent. Melissa's hand slipped off my shoulder. Mom folded her arms. She told me everything. You don't have to pretend. I stared at my wife. "You told her that?" "I didn't mean it like that," she said softly. "Did you say it?" I asked again. She looked down. "I was trying to help." "Help who?" I snapped. Mom walked past me. "Dinner's ready. Sit if you want, or leave." "I don't really care tonight." Ate in silence, or tried to. Every time I opened my mouth, Mom looked away. Every time I tried to explain, Melissa spoke for me. Every time I reached for something, Mom handed it to Melissa instead. And when we left, she didn't hug me. She didn't even say goodbye. In the car, I gripped the steering wheel. "Tell me exactly what you said." "Ethan, don't start," Melissa muttered. "I'm not starting." "I'm asking. What did you tell her?" "I told her you get stressed," she said. "I told her you feel pressure when you go there. I told her you want space sometimes." I shook my head. "You twisted everything." "No, I didn't. I made it easier for her to understand us." "Understand what?" "That I hate my own mother? That I talk behind her back?" My voice raised. "Why would you say something like that?" She crossed her arms. "Well, you never defend yourself. I do it for you." "I don't need defense from lies," I said. "I need honesty." She scoffed. "You're being dramatic. Because my mom thinks I hate her. She'll get over it," Melissa said. I stared at her. "You don't get it?" "She believes you. She always believes you. And why is that my fault?" she asked. I turned the car off. "Because you're the one talking." She rolled her eyes. "You always blame me. I'm blaming you. Because you said something I never said." "Maybe you didn't say it exactly," she muttered, "but you acted like it." "How?" I asked. "Tell me one time I acted like I didn't want to see her." "You complain sometimes?" "Everyone complains. Sometimes." "Maybe I misunderstood," she said quietly. "No." I shook my head. "You didn't misunderstand, you lied." She didn't reply. When we got home, I sat on the edge of the bed, trying to breathe. "Why, Melissa?" She sat beside me. I didn't want her thinking I'm the problem. I froze. "What?" She sighed. "Your mom always treats me like I'm not good enough. She looks at me like I stole something from her. I just wanted her to feel what I feel." "So you made her hate me?" "No," she said, grabbing my arm. I thought if she felt a little hurt, she'd back off and stop judging me. That's not how families work, I whispered. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I was trying to protect us. I gently moved her hand away. No, you were trying to protect yourself. She blinked fast. Ethan, please, I stood up. I don't even know what you told her. I don't know how deep this goes. I don't know what she thinks, I said. You're overthinking, she said. No, I'm finally thinking. She looked scared for the first time. And in that moment, I knew something dangerous had happened, something I hadn't seen coming, something that felt bigger than just one lie. Someone twisted my mother's heart against me, and that someone was the person sleeping in my bed. I kept waiting for Mom to call me the next day. She didn't. I waited the day after. Nothing. A whole week passed, and every hour felt heavier than the last. Melissa noticed. She kept saying things like, maybe she's just busy, or you're overthinking again. I wasn't. I knew my mother. Silence was never her way of dealing with anything. One morning, I checked my phone again, hoping for even a small text. Nothing. No call. No message. Not even a missed notification. I opened my social media and froze. She unfollowed me, I whispered. Melissa walked past me, sipping coffee. Maybe she's cleaning her list. My mom doesn't clean her list, I said. She follows only family. She shrugged. Maybe she hit the wrong button. I stared at her. Why are you acting like this isn't weird? She looked annoyed. Because I'm tired of hearing about your mom every hour. I put my phone down. She's never acted like this in her life. Something changed. Then go ask her, she said so. I did. That evening I drove to Mom's house alone. I stood at the door and knocked gently. Mom, it's me. Silence. I knocked again. Mom, please open the door. I heard footsteps inside, slow, shaky, and then her voice through the door. Go home, Ethan. My breath caught. Mom, what? Why? You already hurt me enough. My heart jumped. What did I do? You know, she said, choking on her words. I heard everything. No, I whispered. You didn't. I did. She took a shaky breath. She told me the truth. I pressed my forehead against the door. What truth? Tell me. Her voice cracked. You cussed at me, Ethan. My body went cold. What? You mocked my cooking? You said you were tired of being my son? Her voice broke. How could you say that? I never said that. I shouted. Mom, please, I swear on my life, I never said any of that. Who told you that? You know who told me? My legs felt weak. Melissa lied. I said, she lied to you. No, Mom whispered. She sounded so hurt. She said she didn't want to tell me, but she felt guilty keeping it inside. I shook my head so hard my vision blurred. Mom, I swear to you every word she said is false. You're only saying that because you're ashamed, she said. I don't want to hear it again, Mom. Open the door so I can look at you, I begged. Please, I need you to see my face when I tell you I didn't say those things. No, she said again. I can't. I slid down and sat on the cold step. Mom, please don't do this to me. She cried on the other side of the door. You already did it to me. Hearing her sob, knowing she was crying because of something I didn't do, cracked something inside me. I felt my chest collapse. Double quotes, Mom, I whispered, choking on my own voice. I love you. I would never hurt you like that. She didn't answer. The silence was worse than shouting. As I walked back to my car, saw Daniel, my best friend, getting out of his house across the street. Bro, what happened? He asked, rushing toward me. I couldn't even speak. I just pointed at Mom's door. He frowned. She didn't let you in? She thinks I said things to her, I murmured. Things I never said. What things? That I cursed at her. That I mocked her. Yes. That I said I was tired of being her son. Daniel's jaw dropped. What? Who told her that? Melissa? He stared at me like I had told him the sky fell. Bro, that's not a misunderstanding. As he paused, swallowing hard. That's someone rewriting your whole life. I felt my throat burn. Why would she do that? Daniel placed a hand on my shoulder. Because some people can't handle not being the center of everything. Your mom loves you. Melissa wants that love redirected. Sick, I said, shaking my head. It's real, he replied. The question is, what are you going to do now? I didn't have an answer. When I got home, Melissa was on the couch watching TV. She muted it when she saw my face. So, did she talk to you? You told her I cussed at her, I said quietly. She blinked. What? You told her I mocked her cooking. You told her I said I'm tired of being her son. I didn't say it like that, she muttered. Why did you say it all? I yelled. She flinched. Ethan, calm down, no. You turned my own mom against me. I didn't, she said, wiping her eyes fast. You're twisting it. How am I twisting it? I asked. Those words never came out of my mouth, not once in my whole life. I was trying to explain things to her, she whispered. How does lying help explain anything? She covered her face. I thought she'd understand you better if she knew you had feelings you don't share. Feelings that don't exist, I shouted. She started crying harder. I was scared, okay? She always looks at me like I'm not good enough. I thought if she backed off, we'd have less pressure. So you lied about me to make your life easier, I said. No, she sobbed. I just wanted her to understand Em. I started noticing little things about Melissa I hadn't before. Small shifts in her expression, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the way her fingers drummed against her phone whenever my mom's name appeared on her screen. I tried to ignore it at first, telling myself I was overthinking. But then, the pattern became impossible to miss. One morning, I asked casually, "Who were you texting last night?" She looked up from her coffee, smiling too brightly. Oh, no one important, I squinted. You were up late, she laughed lightly. Just chatting with Chloe, Mom's neighbor. She always asks about us. I nodded, unsure if I believed her. Chloe, huh? What did you say? Melissa's lips curved, but her eyes darted to the floor. Nothing much. Just casual stuff. You know, neighborly talk. I didn't know. I didn't buy it. A few days later, Lily came over to see Mom. She was always full of chatter, a whirlwind of innocence. She came running to me, holding a piece of paper like she had uncovered a treasure. Ethan, you won't believe what I found, she said, waving the paper. Mom's phone left open, and I saw messages. What messages? I asked, my stomach tightening. She glanced at me. Well, Melissa was texting Mom, saying stuff like, I hope you understand him better. And I only want to make things easier. I froze. My chest tightened. That's it? Just niceties. Lily frowned. No, there were more. Like, I'm scared she'll judge me, and if Ethan ever finds out, everything will fall apart. My heart stopped. The last sentence echoed in my mind again and again. If Ethan ever finds out what I told his mom, everything will fall apart. I stared at Lily. Are you sure that's what it said? Yes, she said, a little scared. I didn't read everything but that part. I could not read. I leaned back in the chair, silent. My mind spun. Melissa. She wasn't protecting our marriage. She was protecting her image. Every sweet message, every innocent gesture had been a performance. I felt anger and disbelief collide in my chest. How long has this been going on? Lily shrugged. I don't know. Weeks? Maybe months? I didn't notice until now. I ran my hands through my hair. Months, I muttered. Months of lies, whispers, and manipulation. That evening, I tried to act normal around Melissa. She laughed at my jokes, touched my arm, whispered my name, all like nothing had happened. But I saw it. I saw the tension behind her smiles, the quick flinch whenever I looked at her too long. I felt the invisible walls she built between us. The walls she built to control everything my mom, me, everyone around her, Ethan. She said softly, You've been quiet all day? I've been thinking, I said carefully. About what? She asked, tilting her head. About how easy it is for someone to rewrite a life, I said slowly. How someone can make people believe things that never happened. She laughed nervously. That's dramatic. I don't think it's dramatic, I said. I think it's real. And I think I need to understand everything. Melissa's face fell. Understand what? I need to know exactly what you said to my mom, I said. Everything. I need to hear it from you. Ethan, it's not like that. It is like that. I said, my voice low but firm. You didn't just explain things. You lied. You twisted everything. I didn't want her to think badly of you, she said, her voice cracking. I didn't mean to hurt you, I laughed bitterly. You didn't mean to hurt me? Mom hasn't looked at me the same way in weeks. She unfollowed me on social media. She won't answer my calls. She cries because of you. Melissa's lips trembled. I only wanted to make her see you better. She thinks I cursed at her. She thinks I mocked her. She thinks I'm tired of being her son. I shouted, and it's all because of you. Melissa buried her face in her hands. I thought if she understood, she'd stop being mad at both of us. Stop being mad? I asked incredulously. You're not protecting us. You're protecting yourself. And you did it at my expense. She didn't answer. I could see the truth in her silence. Every smile she gave Mom, every sweet word she sent it, wasn't kindness. It was manipulation. Fear. A desperate need to be untouchable in the eyes of everyone around her. I leaned back and whispered, almost to myself, I need proof. I need to show Mom. I need to stop this. Melissa looked up, eyes red. Ethan. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My mind was already racing, planning, calculating. Every lie she told, every secret she kept, it had to be exposed. Not out of spite. But because the truth had been stolen from me for too long, the crack in my heart widened. But clarity shone through it. I wouldn't let this continue. I couldn't stop thinking about Melissa, about the lies, about my mom. I needed proof. I couldn't just confront her without it. I started digging through my phone, through old messages, screenshots, anything that might show what she'd actually done. I found at first the screenshots she had sent to Mom. They looked innocent at first glance. But I noticed the timestamps, the edits. The words weren't mine. She had cropped conversations, added fake lines, made it seem like I had insulted my own mother. I held the phone and whispered to myself, how? How could she do this? Melissa's voice echoed in my mind. I only said it to make her understand you better. That lie now felt like a dagger twisting in my chest. Then I found the voice notes. Notes where she had practiced crying. Soft, shaky, exaggerated sobs. Lines like, I can't believe he said that. How could he do this to me? She'd practiced sounding hurt, rehearsed her lies to sound real. My stomach churned. I pressed play again and again, listening, imagining her saying the words directly to Mom. I'm just trying to help him. I don't want her to be mad at either of you. Her tone was flawless, innocent, but it was theater. Then the bomb dropped. Her old chats with Shane, her ex, popped up in an old backup I hadn't deleted. I scrolled carefully, my hands shaking. Need Ethan's mom on my side? One message read, so I never feel powerless. Another, she'd been plotting this for months. She'd needed my mom's trust to control how the story looked. To protect her image, to protect herself. Not me. Not our marriage. I sank into the couch, my hands shaking. I could hear her talking in my head, rehearsing for every conversation, every tear, every sympathetic glance she'd ever given my mom. I whispered to myself, I can't believe I didn't see it. I imagined what Mom must have heard. Every word twisted, every gesture manipulated. My chest burned, my stomach tightened. I felt sick. Then I called Mom. Her voice, when she answered, was guarded. Ethan, she said softly. Mom, please, I said, my voice cracking. Please, let me come over. Just for a minute. I need to show you something. There was a pause. I held my breath. Come in, she finally said. Quiet, I drove over, heart racing. When I stepped inside, she didn't hug me. She never did, but this time. The tension was unbearable. We sat on her sofa. I held my phone in my hands like a lifeline. Mom, I said, my voice low, look at this. Look at everything she's done. I replayed the screenshots, the edited messages, the voice notes. I told her what I found in the chats with Shane. Every manipulation, every lie, every rehearsal. I could see her face change with each revelation. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh," she whispered. I kept talking. "Mom, this isn't about punishment. It's about truth. You deserve to know what really happened." I can't, my voice broke. I can't let her rewrite my life, our life, like this. She shook her head slowly. Tears pricked her eyes. She used me. To hurt you, the words hit me harder than I expected. I had known she lied, had suspected it, but hearing Mom say it, it was like the final blow. I didn't move. My chest ached. My throat tightened. Mom's tears fell, quiet but unstoppable. She tried to speak, but every word caught in her throat. I reached over, held her hand. She shook slightly, and I whispered, "Mom, it's okay. It's okay. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." She finally exhaled, sobbing into a tissue. "I didn't even see it coming," she whispered. I trusted her. I thought she was helping. "I know," I said softly. "I know she wasn't helping. She was protecting herself." And I let her. Mom looked at me, eyes red and puffy. You tried. You tried to be honest. You didn't do any of those things." "I know," I said. "But I needed you to see it, to believe me, to know the truth." We sat like that for what felt like hours, just holding each other's hands, crying together, letting the tension release. The wall between us. It cracked. Just a little, but enough to feel hope. I whispered again, "I promise, Mom. I won't let her do this again. Not to you, not to me." She nodded, wiping her tears. "I believe you now. I finally see her for who she is." I could feel the weight in my chest lighten slightly. Not gone, not completely, but enough to breathe. Enough to know we could start rebuilding, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel helpless. We just sat there crying, and finally, healing began. Days passed after I showed Mom the proof. I expected tension, maybe some awkwardness, but what I got was silence. Cold, deliberate silence. Melissa called once. I ignored it. Twice. Ignored again. Texts came in, desperate and short. "Please, call me. I need to talk." Mom didn't respond to anything either. No calls, no replies, no messages. Not even a birthday greeting when my birthday came and went. I hadn't felt emptier, but also a small sense of relief. Melissa's panic grew with every passing day. One evening, she slammed her hand on the kitchen counter. "You turned her against me." She screamed. I was calm. Quiet. "No," I said, my voice low, steady. "You did that yourself?" Her face fell. For the first time, her perfect facade cracked. She blinked rapidly, tears forming at the edges of her eyes, but she tried to hold it together. "No, that's not—" "I didn't, Melissa," I interrupted. "Mom saw the truth. You lied? You manipulated? You controlled. This isn't my doing." She sank into a chair, shaking slightly, whispering, I didn't mean." I shook my head. "You did. You wanted to be untouchable. You wanted her on your side. And you burned every bridge to do it." The next few days were almost surreal. I watched her phone obsessively. She checked it constantly, waiting for messages that never came. Friends she had once relied on started calling less, visiting less. Invitations she usually got didn't arrive. The world she'd built around herself began collapsing. Mom had told Lily everything: the lies, the messages, the rehearsed crying, the manipulation. Lily told Daniel, who told a few others. Slowly, Melissa realized she wasn't in control anymore. One afternoon, Melissa showed up at Mom's door. I didn't go with her. I didn't want to see it, but I heard everything through the window as she pleaded. "Mom, please." "I just want to talk," she said, her voice trembling. Mom opened the door just a crack. looking down her nose at Melissa with a coldness I had never heard before. "I don't know who you are, and I don't want to know." Melissa froze. I could see her lips parting, her hands shaking, her whole body quivering. Then she turned away and walked back to her car, slowly, as if every step cost her energy. She got in, wiped her face, and drove off, shaking. I sat alone in my room that night. The house was silent except for the hum of the ceiling fan. Relief and grief collided in me. Half of me wanted to cheer, wanted to feel victorious. The other half ached for the woman I had thought I married. I whispered to myself, "I don't even know her." The next morning, I heard muted phone alerts. I didn't check. I knew it wasn't Mom. It wasn't anyone who cared. The messages would be frantic, desperate. I didn't open them. When I saw Melissa at a distance later that week, at the grocery store, her eyes avoided mine. She looked smaller somehow, her confident walk gone. Friends whispered, stared, avoided her. It was quiet but devastating to watch. She wasn't cruel anymore, just desperate and exposed. I tried not to feel satisfaction. I tried to feel pity. Instead, I felt the weight of reality. The woman I had married no longer existed. Or maybe she had never existed at all. Daniel called that evening. "Bro, did you see what's happening?" "I saw," I said quietly. "I don't want to talk about it." "You should," he insisted. "She's crumbling. Everyone's seeing it now. Don't care who sees it," I said. "I care about Mom and myself." He was silent for a moment. "Fair enough, but be ready. She'll try something. People like her don't disappear quietly." I didn't respond. I hung up and sat in the dark, staring at the ceiling. The room felt smaller somehow, the walls closing in with memories of laughter and lies. I remembered our first date, our first kiss, the promises we made, and I remembered every small manipulation, every hidden agenda. I felt a strange clarity. She had been stripped of her power, exposed to the truth. But I was also grieving not for revenge, not for victory, but for the life I had imagined with her. I whispered again, softly, almost to myself. I loved her. But I didn't know her. I stared at my phone, then set it aside. The silence felt heavy, but honest. Mom's truth, my truth, and the walls finally breaking all of it made the relief bitter. So, the victory hollow. Somewhere far away, Melissa cried in her car. I didn't go to her. I didn't call. I didn't intervene. She had created this world. She had built these lies. And now she was left with nothing but her own reflection. I lay back on my bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning lazily, and let the quiet wrap around me. Relief, grief, and a strange sense of freedom collided in a way I hadn't expected. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe, and I knew, deep down, that the woman I had thought I married was gone forever. Melissa showed up the next day like nothing had happened. Her hair perfectly in place, her smile rehearsed, her perfume like a mask. "Ethan," she said brightly. "Hey, can we talk?" I didn't answer at first. I just looked at her, studying the way her eyes tried to charm, her hands trembling slightly. "I know things got messy," she continued. "I just want to fix it." I leaned against the doorframe. "Fix it," I repeated. "You want to fix it by lying again?" She shook her head quickly. "No, I just want to explain everything. Please, just listen to me." I crossed my arms. "I've listened. I've seen everything, heard everything. I know every fake tear, every rehearsed sob, every edited message." Her smile faltered. "Ethan, I didn't mean for any of it to get this far. Not mean?" I laughed bitterly. "Not mean?" I shook my head. "Every lie you told her rewrote who I was. You didn't hurt my mom. You hurt me." She froze. Her lips trembled. Her eyes filled with tears, but she tried to speak anyway. "Ethan, please." "You don't understand?" "No," I interrupted. "I understand perfectly. You wanted control. You wanted admiration. You didn't want to admit you were afraid of losing power. You didn't care about me?" "Not really. You cared about your image. Her hands dropped to her sides. She trembled. I was trying to protect us. Protect us? I asked quietly, my voice tight. Protect us by destroying me? Protect us by lying to my mom and making her doubt me? Protect us by turning my life into your little stage? Melissa's shoulders slumped. Her voice cracked. I didn't know. You thought, I said, cutting her off. But thinking doesn't erase the damage. Pretending doesn't erase the damage. You rewrote me, Melissa. Every word, every smile, every manipulation rewrote who I was. And you did it for yourself. She collapsed into a chair, sobbing. I'm sorry. I didn't want to hurt you. I watched her for a long moment. Part of me still ached. Part of me still wanted to reach out, to hold her, to believe the woman I fell in love with was still there. But I couldn't. I saw the truth now. The truth I had ignored for too long. I can't do this anymore, I said finally. My voice was calm, almost flat. I can't live in a world where the person I trusted most rewrites my life. I can't pretend anymore. I need to leave. She looked up at me, her face pale, wet with tears. Ethan, please. Don't I said I have to? I interrupted gently. I still feel something, but I can't unsee the truth. I can't ignore it. I have to walk away from me, for my sanity, for Mom, for everything you broke. Ah! Melissa gasped. She tried to speak, but no words came. I grabbed my bag from the corner, slinging it over my shoulder. My hands shook slightly, not from fear, but from the weight of what I was finally doing. I stepped toward the door. This is me choosing myself, Melissa. This is me taking back my life, she whimpered, a single sound that made part of me crumble. But I didn't stop. I opened the door and walked out, not looking back. I drove to Daniel's house. He opened the door, surprised. Bro, you're here. I nodded. I needed a place to think. You okay? He asked. I dropped my bag on the floor. I will be. I just needed to step out of that. Out of her world, he nodded, guiding me to his spare room. It was small, but it felt safe. A temporary haven? I let myself breathe for the first time in months. That afternoon, my phone rang. It was Mom. My chest tightened. Ethan, she asked softly. Hi, Mom, I said quietly. I want to invite you over for lunch, she said. It's been a long time, almost a year. A small smile formed on my lips. Relief warmed me. I'd love that, I said. Good, she whispered. I want to see you, happy and safe. I hung up and sank into the bed. The world outside still felt chaotic. Melissa was out there somewhere, crying in her car, panicking over her image. But for the first time, I didn't feel powerless. I didn't feel angry in the way I had before. Not fully. I just felt free. Free to rebuild. Free to heal. Free to live without someone rewriting my life for their own selfish needs. I whispered to myself, almost like a promise. This is my life now, and I'm choosing me. That night, I didn't think about her lies. I didn't think about her tears. I thought about Mom, about Daniel, about the small beginnings of something real. I closed my eyes and let myself rest. For the first time in months, the weight on my chest lifted, and I allowed myself to hope. Mom greeted me that morning with a smile that felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. Warm, soft, protective, the way it had been before all the lies. Ethan, she said, her eyes shining, I've missed this. I smiled, feeling a weight lift off my chest. I've missed it too, Mom. She gestured to the kitchen. Come see what I made for you. Your favorite. I followed her, and the smell hit me instantly. Roasted chicken, garlic, fresh herbs, everything I loved. My stomach tightened, but not from hunger. From the comfort I had almost forgotten. You didn't have to, I said softly. Mom laughed lightly. Of course I did. I'm proud of you, Ethan. You stood up for yourself. That's something I've wanted you to do for a long time. I felt a sting behind my eyes. Thanks, Mom. I couldn't have done it without your trust. She set the plate in front of me. You earned it. And you've earned peace. Don't ever let anyone take that from you again. I picked up my fork, but my mind wandered to Melissa. I'd ignored her calls, her messages, all her desperate attempts to reach me. Then my phone buzzed. I hesitated, then picked it up. A long message from her glared at me from the screen. Ethan, please. I know I've made mistakes. I know I hurt you. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. Can you please? Talk to me just one more time, Mom? I need her to understand me. Please forgive me. I stared at it. My fingers hovered over the screen. Every word reminded me of months of lies, manipulation, and betrayal. My chest tightened, but I didn't type a word. Instead, I hit delete. The message disappeared. I felt a strange calm wash over me.
Oh, no anger.
No satisfaction, just silence. Mom looked at me, her expression gentle. What did she want? I shook my head, still holding the phone. Nothing anymore. I don't need to hear from her. Mom reached over and took my hand. Good. You don't owe her anything. Not now, not ever. I nodded. The simplicity of it made my chest ache in the best way. Relief and clarity mingled together. Later, Mom pulled out her phone. I watched as she typed a single message. Short, direct, I don't remember you. She sent it without hesitation. No hate, no revenge. Just erasure. I looked at her. That's perfect. Mom smiled softly. She's a stranger to us now. That's all she is. And that's how it should be. I exhaled slowly. It feels peaceful. Mom nodded. That's the quiet you've been waiting for. The quiet that comes when someone toxic finally loses access to your life. That silence, it's healing. It's freedom. I leaned back, letting the words sink in. I could feel the tension leaving my shoulders, the weight leaving my chest. For months, I had carried anger, grief, confusion, and disbelief. Now, it was gone. Not gone magically, but finally replaced with clarity and peace. Mom reached over and ruffled my hair gently. You're going to be okay, Ethan, stronger than before. I smiled at her. I feel it. Stronger, lighter, and free. We ate in comfortable silence, the kind of quiet that doesn't feel empty, but full of healing, full of understanding, full of life moving forward without shadows. After lunch, I helped Mom clean the dishes. She hummed softly while I washed, and I realized I hadn't felt this normal in months. Simple tasks, simple conversations, and the comfort of someone who truly had my back. Later, I sat by the window, looking out at the street. No frantic texts. No manipulative calls. No lies looming over me. Just silence. Peaceful, quiet, liberating silence. I thought about the past months, the lies, the betrayal, the emotional exhaustion, and I realized something. The weight of her toxicity had lifted. And with it, I could finally breathe freely. I whispered softly to myself. It's almost like a promise to my own heart. I'm walking into the future unburdened. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm free. Mom peeked in from the kitchen. You okay, Ethan? I've never been better, I said, a genuine smile spreading across my face. Thank you for everything. For being here. For trusting me. For letting me heal. She nodded, eyes glistening softly. Always. You'll always have me. I leaned back, letting the warmth of the house, the peace of Mom's presence, and the quiet triumph of truth settle around me. I could feel the future opening up bright, unshaken, and mine to claim. For the first time in months, I didn't feel broken. I didn't feel betrayed. I didn't feel trapped. I felt free. And that freedom, that silence, that clarity, it was everything.